What is the Elective Residency Visa for Italy? When you can apply and how to apply for the Elective Residency Visa for Italy? Today we want to recall a really trending argument, as we see that recently a lot of people were interested about the application for this type of visa. So this is Marco Bersani from the Bersani Law Firm and Partners from Italy, an Italian immigration law firm with expertise, with more than 10 years of expertise on Italian visa application. And so let's start. So let's start from the beginning. What is the Elective Residency Visa? The Elective Residency Visa, or Elective Residency Visa for Italy, is a special category of visa. That visa allows you to come here and stay here, living here long term, thanks to your passive income. The real core of the visa's application, so the main things that you have to keep in mind about the application, is the concept of passive income. What is the passive income? With passive income, we refer to all the incomes you have different from a salary, so different from a job that you have in your home country. So what is really important for applying for the visa and for being successful with the application for the Elective Residency Visa is to provide that you have some stable and continuous financial means from your passive income. We noticed that there is a lot of confusion about the concept of the passive income. So, for example, a lot of people ask to us, I have like $1 million in my savings bank account, so or for example, I have this amount of money from a house, I bought my house, so I can sell my house and I can have those money for for demonstrating that I can stay in Italy and I can live in Italy without working, basically. So pay attention on this. With the passive income, we mean every financial means that you have different from a salary, that different from your job, but this passive income must be stable and continuous. This is the really important things to keep in mind. The Italian governments want you to provide that you have some stable and continuous passive income, because they will say to you, okay, I allow you to stay in Italy, you can stay in Italy without working, but you have to provide me that you are able to stay in Italy without working. So that's why you have to provide some stable and continuous. These are the two main keywords: stable and continuous passive income. A typical example of a passive income that is accepted for sure from the consular offices is the pension. If you are a retired person, if you have your pension, if you have your retirement funds, it means that you receive every month, every 2 months, or every 6 months, and so on. You have some stable and continuous income that you receive without working. The Elective Residency Visa was specifically designed by the government many years ago for retired people, so a pension, a retirement fund, is the typical and perfect example of a passive income. But pay attention, this doesn't mean that only if you are retired then you can apply for the Elective Residency Visa. You can apply for an Elective Residency Visa for Italy also if you are not yet retired, but if you can demonstrate that you can prove and show some clear evidences that you have some stable and continuous passive income different from your pension. For example, a typical case that we process is a case with dividends. If you can provide that you have dividends, so every month, every quarterly, or every 6 months, and so on, or annually, you can have X amount of money from your passive income, from your dividends, because you made a relevant investment, so you have some relevant dividend, then dividends certainly qualifies for the application for the Elective Residency Visa for Italy. There is not a specific list of the passive incomes that may be accepted by the consulate. Generally speaking, consulate will accept for sure the pension, retirement funds, dividends. The consulate can also accept the incomes from your rents, so if you are renting houses and so you have some stable and continuous incomes from the rents, coming from the rents. Pay attention that as all the visa's application, in all cases, the visa's application is processed by the consulate on discretional basis. So there is no, as there is not a list, a specific list of passive income, there is no guarantee that the consulate will accept your application. And that's why it's important to provide to you, provide a detailed assistance. That's why we provide assistance to you, because it's very important since the beginning to check if you can qualify. We know what is the practice of the consulate, so we know if that consulate is more flexible or the other consulate is more strict on the interpretation of the passive income concepts. So that's why it's really important to have a step-by-step assistance of preparing the application in the right way. As soon as you are eligible for the Elective Residency Visa, so let's assume that you can apply for the visa. What happens? So you have to prepare all the documents proving your stable and continuous passive income. These are really important things to provide at the consular offices when you will take your appointment for filing your visa application. As long as you will have your visa, so your application will be approved by the consulate, you will have on your passport a 1-year visa for Italy. So it means that you have 1 year for entering Italy. As long as you enter Italy, you will have your resident permit as a owner of an elective residency permit. So you will have a resident permit with a 1-year duration that you can then renew after 1 year for other 2 years. And so you can continue to renew for every 2 years your resident permit. So pay big attention on the concept of the passive income as long as you are ready to file your application. We saw a lot of people that tried to apply alone for the Elective Residency Visa and the application were denied for several reasons. But first of all, one of the main reasons is that they thought they had passive income, but that incomes were not considered passive income. For example, a typical case was of a person that had like $1 million in the bank account and showed to the consulate the bank statement, a letter from the bank, but the consulate was saying, no, you are not eligible because you have those money on your bank account, but they are not stable and continuous. It's just a fixed amount of money in your bank account. So also, if potentially speaking, you can live in Italy 1 year with that amount of money, but they have no guarantee that the day after you will enter Italy, for some reason, that money will be transferred for outside your bank account for other reasons, so you will remain with zero balance in your bank account. So that's why it's important to provide a stable and continuous proof of passive income. Of course, we are here to assist. We are really many people applying with us for the Elective Residency Visa. We process a lot of visa, and in other videos we will be so happy to share with you some case studies, some real people, real stories, so you understand exactly how it works, the process, and how we can assist you on preparing the documentation and preparing the application process in the right way, because of course our goal is your success. Feel free to contact us through our website. We have our contact form on the website, so you can just write to us and sending us to all your questions. And also you can of course book your in-depth consultancy, a specific phone call, a Zoom call on directly with you for better understanding your financial position, and so help you how to create your application process and advising you of your best strategy, the best application strategy. And absolutely do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you will be the first one to be notified about the new videos that we will post about this argument. And also you can find us also on our social media, so on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and also on Instagram too. So do not hesitate to visit us and to contact us in the ways you prefer. So this is Marco Bersani from the Bersani Law Firm and Partners from Italy, and see you on the next videos.